Hello Libra, welcome to your weekly reading with me, Cindy. Libra, we're going to look at your energy right here, right now. We're going to look at your energy right here, right now, and then we're going to look at energy that's outside of you. Energy that's outside of you. We're going to determine what that is. So first we're going to start with Libra's energy. Libra's energy right now. What is Libra's energy right now? Libra's energy right now. Oh, you have two. Wow. The firefly and the gazelle. I feel like you're looking right at me, to be honest. It's like, whoa, what is this? The firefly is looking at you and you're looking at me. It's weird. The firefly is looking at you and you're looking at me. And then if I turn it, you're looking at you. It's like looking at yourself, really seeing yourself here. The firefly, some sort of new cycle that you've entered in and you're just sort of like kind of getting your feet in it, you know, like just kind of getting your stability in this new cycle. And it's brought you out of some sort of darker period. You've come out of some sort of darker period and you're looking head on, like you're looking head on, and the sun sits behind this gazelle. The sun is sitting behind the gazelle. It's like the sun is rising. The sun is starting to rise. And you've kept your light going in this dark period. You've sort of kept your own light going in this darker period. And now the sun is about to rise here. It's like the sun is rising. But I don't know that you're seeing this or witnessing it because you're focused on something else. I don't know that you're seeing it or witnessing it. I sure like to know what you're focused on. We're going to get there in a minute. Musical instruments. It's laundry day. All right. The energy outside of Libra. The energy outside of Libra. The energy outside of Libra. Energy outside of Libra. Energy outside of Libra. There it is. The otter. So the guy's getting around. Everybody's anticipating something. Everybody's anticipating for something, waiting, watching, hoping, knowing. It's like a knowing, like something's coming in here. Maybe it's because of retrograde. People are like sensing, oh, something is coming in from the past here. This little otter's looking into the future. It might be your energy. Because I ask, you know, it's an energy outside of you, which could be your energy in the future, or it could just be somebody else's energy. It kind of feels like it might be your energy in the future. But right now, you're looking at something else. Interesting. The crow is at the bottom. This is really playing around with your intuition. Having a lot of confidence in your intuition, running with it, playing with it, seeing what you can do with it. It's like you know that there's something, if you don't know it right now, at some point, you know it now, because I told you, the sun is behind you. Some sort of wish fulfillment, clarity, happiness, brighter, better days are coming up on the horizon, which is, you know, you've worked hard to keep this darkness at bay. And this sun is about to rise. But you're focusing on something. But in the future, I feel like you start focusing on the future. You're focused on your present right now. That's kind of what that feels like. Focused very much on your present, even though the sun is starting to rise behind you. All right, let's see. Tarot cards for Libra's energy right now. This Firefly and Gazelle energy. Tarot cards for Libras. Firefly and Gazelle energy. Oh, that's a mess. It's a lot of cards, Libra. But I know you guys are going to be upset if I don't pick them up because the Two of Cups is right on top. I know, pick it up. Oh boy. Okay, I'm going to keep them all in the order that they're here. Okay, I'm going to show you them as a mittful. It is definitely a mittful. It's a mittful of cards. What do you have here? The first one you have is the Seven of Cups. A lot of choices, dreams, wishes. Trying to figure it out. Trying to figure it out here because the sun is down here and the moon is up here. It's like, yeah, but okay, that makes a lot of sense because you're coming out of a dark period and the sun is about to rise. So if you've been having some sort of a wish or dream here that you've been fantasizing or dreaming about, and it's, you know, you've just been in this darkness, it's like the sun is about to rise. The sun is rising up on that. The Seven of Swords with the Eight of Swords, I want to hold these three together like this. The Seven of Swords, or sorry, the Nine of Swords, no, the Seven. Oh my gosh. The Seven, the Eight of Swords, and then the Four of Wands. You pulled away from something here. Pulled away from it. It feels very much like, you know, you couldn't move towards it anyways with this Eight of Swords, whatever it was. Whatever this sun rising for you is, it's some sort of wish fulfillment. When the sun is rising, it's a wish fulfillment. It's a better day. So you pulled away, you've been sitting in the background, kind of hiding here and maybe focused more on dreams, fantasy, manifestation through fantasy, through dreaming, through imagining. And then the Eight of Swords, though, like you couldn't, there was a desire here to hatch out into a new cycle. And then we get the Four of Wands, which is really good. Like it's celebration, but then that meets, oh, look at that. I don't usually read in reverse, but this one is sitting in reverse. Maybe that's important. I didn't realize that when I was holding them up. The Five of Swords is actually in reverse. Because I'm thinking, that's so odd because everything after that is really good. So that kind of makes sense. See, that's why I say, like, I don't usually read in reverse. But when certain things happen, it's like, oh, look at that. The Five of Swords. So something was cut out, but is no longer, right? Look. Ah, this came out like this at some point this week. Who did this come out for? No, it was like this. It was Aries, I think. But it was interesting because I'm going to show you what happened here. So there was sort of like this passion, this feeling, this desire, this spark, this communication, and cut. It was cut. The worm was cut. And it was kind of confusing, like not knowing what your energy was or where to be. But now yours is coming in like this. It's almost like the cut has been repaired. It's almost like the split has been repaired. And this Page of Wands, Daughter of Wands energy is now whole again. And that's communication. That's a new beginning, a new start, and something that you have passion and desire and hope for. And it might have been some sort of a choice here. Because the Four of Wands is about making, it's a celebration. It's a celebration, some sort of partnership. So perhaps the celebration ended, but it's something's corrected here with the Ten of Pentacles and then the Two of Cups. You know, the Ten of Pentacles is a good card, but it could look good on the outside. I really feel that with the Ten of Pentacles because, you know, there's all sorts of people out there that look like they got perfect lives. We see that in Hollywood too, right? And I feel really bad for so many famous people because their entire lives are on magazines and everything. And life is already difficult to have all these people trying to look into your life and trying to assume they know what's going on and interpret it and spread smut about you. But, it can be good and it can be bad. It's definitely, it looks good to everyone, but is it? Is it? Because that Ten of Pentacles is reaching that final destination, what you really wanted. You know, you started off as an Ace of Pentacles, And you know, as an Ace of Pentacles for you, that can be coming out of university, paying off a student loan, getting your first job, and then getting your first place, maybe putting a down payment on a condo or something, like starting simple, and then you progress through the whole story and building that up and building a foundation and making it strong. And then this 10 of Pentacles turns into the wish fulfillment. The wish fulfillment, right? Like having that, whatever that perfect home is for you, that perfect place that you wanted to live and who you want to live in it with and how you see that. So some people get there and then they realize they didn't build this on the right foundation. This wasn't built on the right sort of happiness, or it was just built on the fact of getting that. There has to be other things behind it and with it. And the Two of Cups is kind of saying that this is some sort of equality here. This is some sort of real proper give and take, equal give and take that's coming in. So many cards. It's like a book. It's like a little book for Libra. Libra gave me a book for the Firefly. So it does though, because it feels like you came out of this dark. You've been holding some sort of light in the darkness. This is what you're focused on. Now I see it. Just as it happens to sit here, you're sitting in the present. You're sitting in the present. The sun is about to rise behind you. You're probably starting to feel it. You know, when you're sitting somewhere and the sun is coming up, you feel that warmth. You can feel the warmth on your shoulder as the sun has shifted. If you were in the shade and you're focused on something, maybe reading a book, and you don't really visually recognize that the sun has come around, but you feel it. You can feel the warmth of it again. This is what you're doing. This is why you're not in here yet. Because you're repairing. You're repairing. You're repairing one last little thing. One last little thing that perhaps you need to step away from, because the Five of Swords is often that. And then when you do that, this becomes whole again. The snake or the worm kind of becomes whole again. And it becomes a new beginning, and then it moves into some very solid energy. Okay, so the Otter. I hope the Otter has less cards. I need a drink of water. The Otter, the Otter. Jeez, that's exactly the, oh, you did it to me again. You took out a whole bunch of cards. You're making me work so hard. And look at how you did it. You have another card reversed. And everything else is great. And the bad card is the one that's reversed. I really feel like you're playing with my deck. I feel like you're messing around with my cards. Somebody's messing around with my cards. That's okay. Yeah, that was funny. There's the Oakman reading of past Friday. If you want to see something really freaky, I see it happen sometimes when I'm shuffling. I saw it happen when I was doing the reading in the video. Literally, somebody went in the comments and time-stamped it because they witnessed it. It would be cool to slow-mo what happened. I was using this teeny tiny tarot deck, and in the middle of shuffling, a card jumps out, you know, and in the time it takes me to go from here back in here again, this card, it does like this full, I don't know how many times it's spun in the air, and it lands right back in the deck proper way, just in time for my hand to come back on to the pile. It's crazy. And I kind of saw that happen when I was doing it. I was like, did that just not happen? And then when I saw it in the video, I thought, oh, that's even cooler to watch from that perspective. So anyway, I'm just saying, like, sometimes it feels like, you know, someone's playing with my cards. The Strength card, I just get it, like, it's taking a lot of strength, but I see that here. Like, I see that here because you've had to go through something. You've had to go through some sort of darkness, some sort of unknown energy. You know, it's kind of funny that this is the Seven of Cups, but it almost feels like the Moon card, the energy of it. Like just some sort of unknown element that you've had to work through that was kind of dark. And then, like the Seven of Swords, something being hidden from you, right? With this Seven of Cups feeling a bit moonish energy, something being hidden from you. Not only is it hidden from you, but you're unable to move and you're unable to have a new beginning here. Like that's a heavy dark energy. But you did a good job. You kept your little light going. You kept your little light shining through all that darkness. And then here we have like these four wands coming together in celebration. So yeah, it took some strength, and look at this. Oh, that too. That's so crazy. I thought it was just the Four of Cups in reverse, but it's also the Four of Pentacles. Two great cards to put in reverse if nothing's been moving. So the Four of Cups is something, you know, an offer that you've made, nobody's noticing it, or the person is not noticing it, or they're not able to take the cup, or whatever the situation is. It usually feels like a bit of a disappointment of something being missed out, because often there's other things going on in a situation that you may not be aware of that are causing a distraction, or it's not the right time. And the Four of Pentacles is not moving usually, like it's stationary, stable energy. It's just, you know, all that energy is staying within those Four of Pentacles. It's not growing and expanding beyond that. So there was some sort of stall. I'm going to clarify the Otter. It's starting to feel like it may not be you, but I don't know. And then you have very strong energy coming in here. Oh, this is funny. This is kind of a funny message. I had this with someone else weeks and weeks ago. I think it came up a couple of times. So we have the Emperor followed by the Lovers and the Hermit. There's a very, very strong, a very strong energy. And it's making a choice here with the Lovers, and it goes into Hermit. Do you know the message that I'm getting with this that I had weeks ago with a couple of other signs? It's literally kind of like, it feels like sort of like two people making a choice to go into Hermit mode to get, like, something happens here. So something, I want to clarify those. Your reading's a little more intricate than some of the other ones this week. The Seven of Pentacles, Mother of Pentacles just fell out. The Seven of Pentacles here, needing to work and reassess and replan and kind of re-strategize. I haven't had a lot of reason to go into this little deck this week, but there's something I'm curious about. I can't, let's see what the Otter. We are going to ask the Otter to tell you something, but I want to know more about the Otter for you. I'm not sure that it's actually you in the future, but let's see. The Otter, tell us more about the Otter. Tell Libra more about the Otter. Oh, look it. It's the Four of Cups and the Emperor. What do you have here? The Four of Cups in reverse and the Emperor. So this does feel like someone else. It is someone else's energy. They're looking into the future here. But you're focused kind of on some sort of fixing something. We already talked about that. So now that we know that, the Otter is this Emperor energy. Either you weren't able to take the Emperor's cup, or the Emperor was not able to take your cup in the past. The Hermit card is very curious. Let's see what the Hermit is. The Hermit card. The card really wants to come out over there. I'm gonna see what it is. Do you see how it's sitting there? It's like if you take me out, I'm gonna take you out. Oh, there we go. Oh. Ah, nice. Okay. You get the Seven of Cups, which is like way over here. The Seven of Cups, the Six of Cups, the Ace of Swords, and the Chariot. That's interesting for the Hermit. As the Lovers move towards the Hermit card, and the Hermit card seems to represent these options, these dreams, making it perhaps, you know, like a wish fulfillment. It's kind of funny, like having all these cups to choose from, and then the next card is having this cup in their hand and making some sort of an offer, some sort of a way to make the offer. I see. So this energy is looking forward to make some sort of offer perhaps, and then your energy here is kind of focused on some sort of final stitch work. Final stitch work in the quilt of your life, let's call it that. Final stitching in the quilt of your life here. And maybe it's a deeper knowing about something coming through, because when the choice is made, then it's very clear with the Ace of Swords. It's very clear. It's very open communication. And the Chariot, like it moves, because the Hermit doesn't move very quickly. Well, it is a big tortoise just hanging out, shining the light. Oh, look at this person shining a light too. These are both shining a little light. What's that little, this little light of mine? I'm gonna make it shine. There you go. All right, so let's see if the Otter could tell you something. What would the Otter tell you? I'm going to the Return of Spirit deck this week for this. If the Otter could tell Libra something, what would the Otter tell Libra? If the Otter could tell Libra something, what would the Otter tell Libra? If the Otter could tell Libra something, the Violet Flame. Ooh. It's kind of funny how we have these little flame things. Like the Hermit had a little flame, and you were like having a little light here that you were shining. So there's a little flame, almost like the Violet Flame is something within that's been sitting and it's been waiting to hatch out and to birth here. Something has been waiting to hatch out into birth. The Gazelle. The Gazelle is is you. So we're going to ask you, your deeper self, what it would tell you right now. If it could tell you something, what would Libra's deeper self tell them right now if it could tell them something? What would Libra's deeper self? That kind of union. This has been going around like crazy this week. So you are coming into some sort of union. Your deeper self is telling you that. Whether you feel it or not, you might, maybe not, because you kind of focused on some, like I said, it's kind of a cute way to say it. It's like fixing some stitching in the quilt of your life here. The quilt that is your life. You know, you can see like those big quilts. They're like a whole storyboard. And it's almost as if the quilt of your life, you're doing some little last minute stitching on something. You're focused on that. But maybe you do sense some sort of union here. And that's why you're repairing this, because this is moving you into a very solid energy. And that's it. With the bottom of this deck is mediumship. It looks like a dragon. It looks like a dragonfly butterfly. That's interesting. Because I find the dragonfly is kind of about starting to see things clearly. And then the butterfly is a whole new cycle. That's interesting, isn't it? Starting to see things clearly as you move into a new cycle. There you go, Libra. That was interesting. I'm glad we got through that in a timely manner with so many cards. So thank you so much, Libra. Until next time, do be gentle with yourselves. Bye.